much it for the chord progression of this song, Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. And I played it in the key of G. On the recording, it's actually in the key of G flat. And probably what they did is tune the piano down, because blues is never played in 6 flats like that, or an F sharp. So I put it in just the key of G because it's a lot easier to play, and I think they probably just tuned the piano down, and the guy played it in G, or whoever played it. So I wrote it in G. If you want to play it in the original key, then either tune down your piano, or you can, on your keyboard, you could just transpose it down a half step. Make everything a flat, down a half step, and then you'll have it. But anyway, let's start with G octave on the left hand. Way down here, here's middle C, so we're down pretty low. Right hand I'm going to put up here above middle C, and we're just going to play, you know, octaves in the same note here on the right hand. G, 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 F, E, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you repeat and go back again. But there's a whole measure of rest there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just take those old records off the shelf. I'm not going to attempt to sing like Bob Seger. So we have here kind of a bluesy thing. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to put right hand, left hand together, and then I'll show you how you can do it, you know, a little more embellished. But let's start with the easy way. We're going to have essentially a G chord, G, B, D, but to make it bluesy, we're going to put an A sharp in there right before the B, and we're going to flip that A sharp to a B, like that. So what's happening is actually I'm playing them all at the same time, all 4 notes, and then I'm letting off of the A sharp. But this is the way it would be written in music. So you play them all together and then let off of that pointer finger, like that. And you get that blues sound. And then we have G, C, E. Now what I did is we're going to go back and forth between these 2 chords a total of 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to have left hand G here, G octave. And the simplest thing is just play the G octave every time you have this chord. That's the simplest way, just to get started. Okay, and then we'll go back and I'll show you how to embellish that if you're able to do that. But let's go to the next chord. We have G. It's actually a C chord. Okay, G, C, E, but we're going to throw a D sharp in there. And again, I'm actually playing all 4 notes at once and then letting off of the D sharp. And then I'm going to go to A, C, F. Okay, and I'm going to do that one 8 times, the same rhythm I did over here. 1. Okay, and left hand's on a C octave. So same rule applies, just play the C octave every time you have this chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, next chord, we have essentially a D chord, D, A, F sharp here, D, A, F sharp, and you have the F as well. Play them all together and then let off the thumb this time. You have to finger it that way because of the black key there. So let off the thumb, don't hold it down, and then we go to G, B, D. We're going to do that 8 times. And D octave on the left hand, do this D octave or this one down here, in the same way 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that, I had a video just finished compressing. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or maybe the low octave sounds better. And then we're going to go back to the G chord. Same thing we did here. G, A sharp, B, and D. But I'm only going to do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to show you this thing that the piano does. It doesn't do it the first time, but it does it later on in the song, so I thought I would throw it in now so you could see what happens. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just automatically go to a D octave here, and then we're going to go. So the right hand's doing D octave, D octave, D octave, D octave, and then an E octave, and then a G octave. And left hand's on just a D octave down here, bum, 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 So you play left by itself and then play them together. And then guess what? Back to here. And it does this chord progression over and over and over again. I think there's a saxophone solo and some other things. And the piano doesn't really have a solo. It plays, you know, things here and there I hear, but mainly it's this chord progression going all the way through. Now let's go back and see how you can embellish a little bit using the left hand instead of just going maybe something. Okay, so when you're playing your left hand octave, you don't always have to play both notes. You can play just your thumb sometimes. And the rhythm that you do is really up to you, as long as you fill up the counts. So it really doesn't matter what rhythm you do, as long as it works out with the beats. Okay, let me do that slow. You can really watch this here. Okay, so I'm just adding a thumb note in between. And don't try to copy me exactly, you know, unless you want to, but because I'll play it different every time I do it, and so will anybody else who improvises. So just get in there and then the same thing on the next chord. So I'm kind of going back and forth. As long as your last 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just over and over and over again for that chord progression. So hopefully that will help you some on playing your chords and improvising. Hope you enjoy it.